Josh Terrier here again, Louisiana Academy of Performing Arts, here to give you a drum lagniappe lesson. Today we're going to talk about rudiments. Now, what is a rudiment? A rudiment's basically just a pattern. A lot of times you're going to see drum rudiments written out as R's and L's, which is a pattern of right and left. In other words, I can have a pattern of single strokes going one time on the right hand, one time on the left hand, and then we just repeat that pattern. So it's just right, left, right, left, right, left. Repeat it over and over again, as many times as you want. We could also have something what's called a double stroke, which is basically the same thing, but you double each hand. We're going to hit 2 R's and 2 L's. So it would be right, right, left, left. So if you notice, every time I play these, I'm playing them nice and evenly. You don't want to group them together like right, right, and then take a break, and then hit the lefts right after that. They have to be nice and steady. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Another pattern you can do is what's called a paradiddle. So now we're getting into mixing rights and lefts. And paradiddle is basically a combination of a double stroke and a single stroke. You're going to start with the para part, which is a single stroke. You alternate your sticks, right, left. The diddle part is when you use a double stroke. So the same stick that we started that single stroke pattern on, right, left, we're going to do the same stick as double, right, right. So that's where paradiddle comes from. Paradiddle. And you can do the same thing from the left hand. Paradiddle. So far I've done everything on the snare drum so far. I can actually do one drum per stick. So if I want to do that same paradiddle stroke on the 2 toms up here, I can go right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. You can get a neat little pattern going on there. You can actually do the same thing on your feet. A lot of people don't realize that, but I could do a paradiddle on my feet. Left foot controlling the hi-hat, right foot controlling the kick drum. Right, left, right, left, left, left. You can actually mix the two. You can do right maybe on your right foot, left on the snare, left stick. So I'm mixing my feet and my hands. So now you see where you can get really, really creative with this. You don't always have to practice in the same way. And you can change up and experiment and kind of develop some of your own beats this way. So a couple of the ones that I've discovered through the years, just taking like a simple double stroke pattern, right, right, left, left, and I'm going to put right on my foot, left on the snare. The other thing that you can change about these, besides just which drums you're playing with it, is whether to hit or whether not to hit. In other words, to play a note or to play a rest. So R's and L's can also mean note or rest. So what I'm going to do with this double stroke is just rest the final L. Instead of going right, right, left, left, I'm going to go right, right, left, and then take a break. So you see, I'm still keeping it nice and steady. But we wind up getting Queen's famous We Will Rock You beat. We will rock you. And that was just created by taking a very, very simple rudiment and kind of playing around with it a little bit. Another cool thing that you can do is maybe add on to just an existing beat. If I have this going, just as a beat that I already had, and I want to use a paradiddle on top, maybe on these 2 drums, it might sound like this. So you saw we took a very, very simple pattern, and just by playing it on the toms up here and adding it onto just a steady beat on the bottom, we've created almost a Latin kind of groove on top of that. Hope you enjoyed your lagniappe lesson today, and we'll see you next time.